Oh, hello. How's everyone? 2 live streams today? Living big, living real big. No, I just wanted to bring this to somebody's attention. So the beginning of this video will be the beginning, if you know what I'm saying. Hopefully the audio's okay because no lapel today. But anyways, if you got a nylon roller, right? If you're just coming here, you're a DIYer, you're a resi, you're a commercial guy, whoever. I didn't even know this was possible. Like I said, I've been doing garage doors and gates for right about 18 years. The deal with these nylon rollers, right, is they've been sitting. So the problem was with this gate, they were sitting for a very, very long time. I mean, we're talking somewhere around 5 years. I bet these gates have not moved. It's just my guess. So they're you can barely see, but she's spinning. Now it was frozen, right, completely. As soon as I started working on it, I said, it's screwed. I said, it's not. It's junk. They're junk because these are sealed. These are sealed. I'll show you. These are a sealed bearing, basically. Backside sealed. Goes on a 4-inch post. And I thought, well, those are junk. And the thing is, these things are like, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're running about two Hondos, 3 Hondos a piece. So I thought, well, what the heck? Well, I mean, now this one was the worst one so far. I've had 3 of them that were shot. Well, they were seized up. So the old PP blaster's been working really good. I've been using a little bit of this. I don't know if this is working as good. The WD, I kind of was doing it after for prevention to leave it kind of coated in there. So it had some lubricant. But I don't feel like this stuff is just knocking it out of the park like the penetrating is. So I've been just keep soaking it. There's actually, once you get one free, if you got one, you guys are more than welcome to jump in if you got comments or questions or anything while I'm on here. So I've been spraying a little bit of the top. Well, this one, like I said, was the worst. I call them big blues. A lot of garage door guys carry these. If not, they should. Big channel locks, they just come in so handy. I mean, these are a must. I track, you name it, put it on the track. Big blues, bend your track, whatever you got to do. It works so nice. They're just so universal. So I got on here. Like I said, I just finally got it to start moving. Hopefully, I can just keep working this puppy. Ooh, gotta be careful. I don't want to make her too bad. But I just keep working it and working it. Seems to be helping. This one's the worst so far. Of course, the one I do a live on is going to give me the most trouble, make me look like a liar, but it is free at least. This one, like I said, she sounds not too good. Let's try the backside. But I just figured I'd let somebody know out there because, to be honest, I thought it was bad. I said, well, these are junk. And while I'm on here, I won't stay on here too long. Like I said, if we don't have any questions, you guys are more than welcome to ask any questions, comment. Appreciate the like. Appreciate the like. Let me know. Just, you can say hello, say what state you're in. Oh, here we go. It bound up. Maybe this one's going to be a junker. Kind of weird, but like I said, the other 2, they turned out really good. Like, really impressed. This one, like I said, I'm going to keep working on it a little bit here. This one, and I've never, honestly, I can't say I've ever taken one apart. As far as I knew, they were always sealed. Now, something to keep in mind is a lot of times these nylon ones, especially if you're up in the northerly states, you know, we're up here in Michigan and all that kind of stuff. If what happens a lot of times if these ones are close to the ground, they'll freeze. And if they freeze, they'll actually get flat spots in here. These ones look pretty good. I see one little nick right there. I think that's when we took the gate out. But when they get flat spots, they can be actually pretty tricky. You'll actually get, the gate will bounce, a sliding cantilever gate. It'll go, it's like an impact on it. It's not good at all for it. So when that happens, I don't know what to tell you on that. I've been trying to think if somebody was out there that had a remilling machine on this. Now, if anybody knows, hook Uncle Dave up. I'd love to hear, you know, if somebody's got can resurface this, because like I said, for the price of these things, they're getting pretty expensive. We used to get them for like 120 bucks a pop, I think. And now they're like 250, 300 bucks. Super expensive. Super expensive. Way too expensive. As far as, so another way, what I've kind of done, and I'm honestly, I don't know if it's the best thing to do or not, to be honest, is go with the cast. So in Michigan, what I do is I try to go with like cast ones. They got the grease circ on them. They're kind of a bummer. They're not as smooth as these nylon ones are. It all depends on the situation, right? If you're working on a gate, that's going to be higher off the ground, it's nice. They're nice. I don't have such a problem. But if it's going to be close to the ground, close to the dirt, close to asphalt, close to the concrete, man, they're tough, because like I said, if these things start getting snow around them and you get that thaw and that freeze, and these freeze, and then the gate just keeps running on it, it'll make a flat spot pretty fast. Not super fast, but pretty fast. And then you can have a problem. That's no good. We don't want no problems. So what I do is I just go with the situation. I just feel out the situation when we're with the customer. If the customer's, it's kind of industrial, it's kind of like, they're not going to maintain it. They're not going to be out here shoveling around the gate or the gate, I should say, sliding cantilever gate. Then I go with cast. The thing was nice with the cast rollers, I don't have any show you, is if you go with a cast roller, if it slides on it, if it gets frozen, you're normally not, I've never seen a flat spot in a cast metal, cast iron, whatever you want to call it, roller. Oh yeah, baby, she's getting there. She's finally getting some lube down there. The other thing too, just to keep in mind, I personally think, honestly, what's up? Is it Bana? Oh, Bada Boom? Is it Bana Boo? Boom? That's a pretty cool name. Is it Boom? Boom. 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 I think it's Boom. That's a pretty cool name. I like that. Wish I had that. Very good. Okay, nice. Awesome. What is it? What's up? Did it again. He says, hi. How you guys doing? What state you guys in? I'm up here in Muskegon, Michigan. Where you guys at? Let me know. It's always cool. What's the weather like? Hopefully you can kind of hear me, Oh, so he says, what am I doing? All right, so he probably jumped on. So basically, this is a slide gate. So some of you guys probably don't know. I run a garage door and gate business. And hey, while you guys are here, if you don't mind, hit the like button. It just helps bring more people in, more conversation, which is always fun. It helps me out too, please. So anyways, this is for a sliding gate operator. It's a commercial one. It's for, you'd see it like at a commercial building, right, where the gate slides with an opener. So it keeps the, traffic, the cars, the people, pedestrians, whatever. This is a gate, this is a roller that would go on a gate. And this one came from a particular customer. It was a resi. And I think what happened was the sprinkler. I think the sprinkler was spraying on this. They're underground sprinkling. And so it just kind of ate at it for a while. I think it basically got crusty in there. What's up, Mr. Tanner? Uh, gotta love the wood paneling, man. You know how it is, right? If you do the wood paneling, it's cheap, right? You know, when you want to go drywall, you got to do it all. You got to do it all, and I'm not about this. I'm about keeping that down. Inflation's high, baby. Taxes are high. So we're just getting her freed up. It's feeling pretty decent. I'd trust that. I'd trust that on the gate. It feels pretty good. So the old penetrating oil's working pretty darn nice. What else we got? I seen you commented on the last one there, Tanner. Appreciate it. I was reading it. Sounded like you had some good points on the what were we doing on the last one? The solid shaft versus hollow shaft. Jason, or was it Josh? Jason? What did I say it was? Josh? I think it's Josh. I get names horrible. I'm horrible names. Just ask my wife. Josh, he reached out to me though, and he was asking something. He's, I think he did it. I think he did it today. Josh, that's right. Anyways, I think Josh. Thanks, Tanner. Like I said, I'm horrible with names. I call my kids just by their letters. I'm like, I got one that's Cookie. I got M, and then I guess I call the one Elena. I still call her, she's still my youngest. I still call her by her. I don't really have a nickname for her yet. But, no, Josh, wish Josh was here. He's a cool dude, man. He, are you a mechanic? No, I'm just a jack of all trades and a master of none. That, That's how I am. I'm not really a mechanic. I do work on vehicles and stuff like that. I mean, you got to be kind of mechanically inclined. Tanner would know how it is. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to save these old rollers because when they're like $250, $300 a pop right now. Super expensive. Ridiculous the price tag on these things. They just, when the old the cough syndrome was going around, it just went up and up, It never came back down for whatever reason. Puppy. Oh yeah, she's getting there. She's getting there. Let that soak there for a second. Let it kind of seep on in. Because, what's nice with that PP blaster? This stuff works. It works pretty good. It ain't it doesn't save your life. Oh, he says it's good times. Yes, it is. Tanner, how's the kiddo? How's the kiddo treating you? They're always fun, man. It's always that love that you cannot describe, when it comes to kids. What are you working on down there, too? What's Tanner working on? Oh, hey, and don't forget, guys, like I said, I asked before, if you would, please, pretty please, hit that like button. It just helps bring more people in. It wakes up the algos. It's not like I get more money or anything like that, because I'm broke. Growing like a weed. Dang, man, that's right. Those kids, man. Those kids, they do grow like a weed. There is not, man. Guys, if there's any, I don't know if we got any young bucks in the group, but I tell you what, I try to explain to my kids that I say, it's amazing when you were young. When you were young, how you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait. You couldn't wait to get the new bike. You couldn't wait to get the new G.I. Joe or Barbie doll, whatever it is, if you're a boy or girl, you just couldn't wait. You couldn't wait, right? And then you start getting older, and this stuff just seems like it just starts flying, right? Here's Christmas, bam. Here's this, bam. Here's your next birthday, bam. When you're a kid, man, it's just so slow, and I'm always trying to tell them, like, enjoy it. Enjoy it, because it will be gone one day. We can't go back, right? Especially look at you got all these. Get these gray hairs. Oh yeah, look at Tanner. He's already throwing in there. Says hit the thumbs up before I start watching. It's always good. Oh, that's funny. That's awesome. Well, I appreciate it. You know, I like doing it a little bit with a thumbs up because it makes me kind of wonder if it's like if it's kind of fake. Because I mean, we got kind of Tanner, and then maybe we got is it Banana Boom? And it's like okay, so it goes up to 11 or something, and then you're like, so there's 11 people here, and you can't even get one more like. Something seems a little fishy with this whole algo. I'm always trying to learn it a little better. Definitely not a master by any means. So, what do we got for kids? We got Cora, we got Emmy, and then we got Elena. 3 girls. 3 girls. Woo. And I call Cookie my oldest, M's the middle, and then Elena I think she's the youngest. So, but they're fun. Like I said, kids are fun, man. They are. But man, they're expensive too. I kind of wish I could just go through the diaper stage. You know, when it comes to kids, just get them out of the diapers. You know, because the stinky diapers, the stinky garbage. That's the stuff, man. And the price of diapers. Hi, man, that's not cheap. Especially when you got to go to the store and buy some. It's like, what the heck's going on here? Yeah. Check this roller out one more time here. Give her another workout. I want to get her freed up. I'm hoping this is the last one. I think it peed on me. Well, I think that's going to be about as good as she's going to get. I'll try this. We'll try this penetrating the WD and see if we get any better. If it gets any better with it. Sometimes the old WD is just hard to beat. It does actually feel smoother. It doesn't feel so grainy. Anywho, anybody got any questions? No questions? Everybody's just so quiet. Tanner, what are you working on? If you're still here, what have you been working on? Got any doors lined up? I really was hoping, I thought maybe Josh was going to wait. I was thinking if he was going to be a little bit behind on that install for that shaft. I was going to go down there and see him. He's a pretty cool dude. I've been thinking about going down there. And I hope Josh don't mind. I don't really tell, obviously. I don't know his handle or anything on here. And I don't spiel out his last name. But I ain't gonna lie. I didn't tell him this yet. But Josh, if you are watching, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for getting a van. He got a van. He's my Chevy. I don't have nobody else to. He went from my Chevy Spark to a van. And he was my hoorah, man. You're working out of, I mean, the Chevy Spark was awesome, man. It's like, that's inspirational right there. And I'm not even like, I know I'm laughing and kind of like joking around about it, but I'm being serious. Like, I mean, that's like, you wouldn't believe how many people I come across that, I mean, just young kids and everything, right? And they're like, well, what do I do? What do you, and I'm like, just start. Just start. Just go out there, man. Just start. Like it's not, just start. Don't worry about, well, I ain't got this. Dude, I ain't got half the crap either, right? You know, I went to a job today and I forgot the stupid dome caps. Couldn't believe it. Truck all loaded up and I forgot the dome caps on top for a pipe. And I'm like digging around and I'm like, I think I forgot dome caps. I'm like, no stinking way. No stinking way. I loaded up this vehicle. And I forgot the dome caps. Crazy. Oh my gosh, man. You do some big doors, man. What do you got there? You got 16 by 14. Service works, some 14 replaced local competitors, but residential jack shaft operator on. Oh, shoot. Residential jack shaft operators on 12 by 14. Yeah, that's not a good That's not a good move, right? That's what if I'm reading this right. So if you got a 12 by 14, you got a residential. No, 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 nope, nope, nope. And the thing is, I wonder what the reason behind it was. Was it because they had all the bells and whistle? Is it just because cheap? They didn't know. Because what's the awesome? So what's I know Tanner knows probably. What is how tall is it's not the 8500? They changed the model now, but the jack shaft. How tall a door does that go up to? Is it 12? It doesn't do 14, right? It only goes up to like 12 foot for a residential jack shaft. I know they we did a boo-boo once. One of my sales guys, he ended up putting them on. They were all of 14 foot with a high lift in it. It worked, but it was glitchy. The 8500, the LiftMaster 8500. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, that was a. But it's hard because at the time, way back then, you didn't have the options. You know, and the soft start and everything was really nice. Soak it up there, Mr. Roller. $300 savings right here. Never thought I'd be that guy. The bad part is, you know, when these are $300, you know, 3, 6, what was that, like $1,200 for on a gate? You got 4 of these bad boys. She adds up fast. Oh, yep, there you go. You got it right too. That's right. They do have their square foot on there. 100 square foot. I think it's only do so much high lift though. Yeah, like I said, I can't remember if these doors were 12 foot or 14 tall, but I know it was all of 14 foot with the high lift in it, and it was weird. It was like they were working fine, but it was like they got a glitch in them. You know what I mean? After so long, they started glitching out. And I'm not saying just because they're the 8500s. They glitched out because like it was like too far to travel. It was kind of like after I kind of got involved. I was after I got involved on it. Oh my gosh! Talk about a grown man wanted to cry. Let me see if I can look this up. Why I'm doing? I had to come back. I was looking at me a text. It might have been Tana. Days. And I let my salesman on it. He knew this guy. He knew the builder, right? All this stuff. He sold them. I mean, one. I think the guy was turning into a barnuminium, basically. I'm not for sure. If it wasn't, it was one heck of a nice garage. I mean, foam insulation, you know, 16-foot ceilings in here. It had a spot where it was like going to be almost like a bar area or something, you know. I mean, the heated floors. And he went with like I think the TS200, you know, like 2-inch thick doors. I mean, super nice. I mean, and at the time, it was a $10,000 job. I think, and there was what, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there was 4 doors on this thing. Anyways, it was a lot. It might have even been more. It was just in the thousands. A big job for us. And man, it was one of those jobs that we just totally like destroyed. It, you know, I sent out, you know, one guy that was twice the experience I was. We sent him with 2, one rookie, another guy that was a seasoned guy from another door company. And man, they blew it. I tell you what. So, I mean, this is a good learning lesson, right? I mean, if you got to use this with a grain of salt. Take this with a grain of salt. If you get somebody from another garage door company, always question why are you from another, you know, I was told this guy couldn't do PMs, preventative maintenance. Well, there was a lot more this guy couldn't do. I mean, he flopped and he kept flopping, and I remember he ended up how was it? He ended up, I don't even know how to describe it. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was so bad. Oh, but anyways, I remember him coming back, right? They were up there for a couple days already working on this job. And he comes back and he's like, hey, he goes, the guy that's up there right now, he's like, he's not doing it right. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. Okay. Now he's sitting down with me and my other foreman, right? My other guy, my lead guy. And so this is after hours. This is like 6 o'clock at night, right? At the office. And we're talking and we're like, okay, so do you think you could take the lead on this and like correct this? And he's like, yeah, I can do that. Okay. Well, the next day we changed things around a little bit. We ended up sending him up there with a couple guys. And I don't know, one of the guys now, another guy squeals on him, right? On this guy, different guy. He says, hey man, his stuff he's got weather seal that's shattered, that he's shooting in. Like I'm not real proud of this. And this is kind of like the rookie guy, you know what I mean? And I'm like, all right. I'm like, it's time for big dog. It's time for big dog to come up. So I took the salesman. I took myself up there. We get up in there, right? And I walk in there and I already see like the bottom perimeter seal, weather seal, vinyl seal, foam stop, whatever you want to call it on the outside door. I can already see one shattered. He didn't say nothing about that. And then I seen a second one. And I'm like, okay, when you get to two that's shattered, like you need to be requesting for more to replace it. No, he's just gonna like leave it. You know what I mean? And we get inside, and I mean, I am just like, I'm just looking, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and the worst part was the track was too tight. And I'm just looking, and I'm looking at the opener, and I'm looking at where the wall button is. I'm looking at how the wires ran. It looks like crap. And the guy that's with me goes, what do you think? And I could about had tears coming out of my eyes. I'm sitting there and I'm looking and I'm like, I said, it looks like to me, I said, it's all got to get tore down. All of it. I said, it's all got to get tore down. And I said, it's all got to be redone. And I know that's not going to be probably realistic, going to happen. But that's how I felt. And I was so disgusted. What's up, Mr. Sky? You're not hiding in the back today? Out there in Cali? Thanks for the cheers. Gives me a break. That's right. What you got? What you got? Went to rock show last night. What? What's the rock show? Show rocked it. Chevelle? No way. Nice. So basically now at this job, right? I have my sales guy he's an installer too, basically, right? He's got to go up there. He's got to fix this. I think he went up there. It probably took another 3 to 5 days to fix it. And the crappy part was, what the really, really, really crappy part was, is when this job was happening, I knew this guy. This was like his personal house, right? This was like a builder, but it was his personal house. And I told my sales guy, and I've said this before to numerous of guys. I literally told him, I said, look, I said, I want you to go, when you're up there, I said, when these guys are up there installing, I said, this is a big job, man. I mean, this is a big job. This is a lot. I said, this is a lot of money for this customer. And this guy's a builder, so hopefully we can get more business with him. You know? Yeah. So the very first day he's up there, right? About halfway through, I hear he had to go, and I trust me, like this isn't the first time. He has to go home because the furnace guy's coming or something, right? The wife is not going to be able to blah blah blah, right? Okay. But does he come back for the rest of the day? Oh, hell no. Nope, he's gone for the rest of the half of the day because his furnace thing, blah, 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 blah. So it's not like he can tell the furnace guy. And the thing was, it was like 15, 20 minutes away from the job. So the next day comes, and I'm telling him. I'm like, dude, I don't know how I got to make this. Like, I tell guys this all the time. I say, I don't know how I got to make this any more clear. I said, you need to sit up there. Go up there. I am paying you. I said, go up there and sit in a lawn chair with your hands under your butt. That's what you need to do. I need you there to be looking, go, you guys aren't stacking that way. Hey, man, your track's too tight. Hey, man, you guys can't be doing that. Hey, you can't be setting them on the sawhorses that way. It's like one of those things, like I don't know how to make it more abundantly clear that you're being paid to basically sit there and do nothing. You're the foreman. You're the salesperson on this job. This is your customer. I need you to make sure this goes really, 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 really good. And somehow it still got blown. And then finally, after they installed it, he had to go back up there, and he had to stay up there to fix it. When it should have been done first the right time. I probably should have been, I'm at fault too. I guess I should have, but it was kind of far away. It was one of those jobs where I express, because anytime we have one that's around the shop, 15 minutes away or so, maybe 20, 30 minutes, whatever, you know what I mean? We'll go there. We go there, we show up. How you guys doing? Everything going good? You guys need anything? Maybe bring some lunch, do something, whatever, try to be nice. But this one was, about 45 minutes to about an hour and 15, if I remember correctly. It was a little ways away. Back roads, you couldn't take a highway up to it. It was back road, country road. Tanner says, Doc, his pay, or he'll be gone, or be gone with him. Love it. I love it. It's tough, man. It's tough in the business. I tell you. Are you guys why is this thing so, why is it so glossy? I don't know why it's so glossy. It's tough, man. It's tough finding, and what really irritated me always is that this is probably, I don't think you've really gone through it yet, Tanner, and anybody else. But this is just my very slim opinion to some degree. And you got, like I said, because I do know one guy that I'm thinking of that he played me too a little bit, right? He ended up, works for another door company, right? And I use them. They know he does stuff on the side, whatever, right? And he actually does good work. I mean, I can just let him go. And he does good work. I never had a problem with him. I've never had him peeing in cups, leave him at the job site. I've never heard about a toilet backed up. I've never heard, fingerprints left on the door. I've never had no issues, no quality issues, no shortcuts. He just does a good job. But he's played me before a little bit where he was going to come work for us. And then he'd run back to his place and he'd say, well, I'm leaving. And then he'd get a raise, right? Then he'd do it. I think he hit me with the third time. He's never here. He's never welcome here. Never, at least under my watch. You know what I mean? Cap can do what he wants, but I'm not, he's not welcome. You know what I mean? I don't like playing those games. You know what I mean? What's up, Mr. Cool Guy? Cool Guy stuff. That's a pretty cool name too. It says, I don't get that. It says, when I worked for an employer, I assume responsibility to the level of owner for that which I have accepted responsibility for. Amen, brother. Hoorah. Yeah, I agree. I've looked at my whole life, right? I've never done a job half-ass. You know what I mean? I've never done it. If you want me to mop the floors, I will do the best I can at mopping the floors. If you can show me a trick or you can show me a chemical that works better, I'll be happy to use it, and it works. If it makes my life harder, I'm going to gripe a little bit, and I'm going to try to explain to you, you know what I mean? And if you still don't want me to do it, I'll do it your way. You know what I mean? But, no matter what, I've always looked at it and some people don't, but it's to me, it's you're doing a contract, right? And you need to do you need to abide by the contract, right? You're paying me, I'm going to do my job. You know what I mean? And I'm going to even do, I want to do such a good job. You can't get rid of me. You know what I mean? You'd be like, oh my gosh, dude, this guy can't go. He doesn't complain. I mean, he's got a good attitude. He does good quality work. He asks questions. He's reliable. He's all these things, you know what I mean? And, but to my fault, the one guy that had double my experience, right? I know he had some drug problem or something. I don't know what causes your fingers to either swell or blister or crack. But he'd have bandages on his fingers constantly. Not always, but it would like rotate. Like 1 week he'd have them, then he'd be fine again. And I never really stared at his hands that much, but he had problems. And the worst part was when he ended up punching his wife in the eye, and he went to jail. And then I already let him go. Like, he was gone. He was fired. And I tell you what, man, there's so many things that play games with you in this business. A lot of businesses. Doesn't even have to be this business directly, right? But I remember his wife shows up at the shop, and I've seen her before, right? And I was nervous. Like, I was like, I don't like, you know how you just don't know what people's intentions are? That's how I felt with her. I was like, is she trying to like do something with me? Is she trying to cause an affair? Is she trying to like what are you doing here? You know, or is her boyfriend or her husband that's in jail now around the corner going to ambush me? You know, and be like, ah, surprise! You know, Chucky. You know, and I'm like, ah, you know. Anyway, she tells me that she needs me to write up her an estimate on a garage door opener. And I'm like, huh? And she's like, well, I don't want to use names, but she said, Mr. B, let's just say, Mr. B is claiming that opener, that residential for a 7-foot tall door, he's claiming that was a $4,000 install. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, and I mean, like our highest residential one is like $800 installed. So $4,000, that's a big chunk of change there. And I said, wow. I said, if he's claiming, I said, $4,000, I said, we'll give you one hell of a deal. I said, we'll do it for $3,000. So anyways, she chuckles, whatever. We go into the shop. I type up this estimate, which is just like wonderful. And as we're doing that, she's sitting, across, and I'm like, she goes, hey, by the way, she goes, I think there's some stuff at my house that's yours. And I'm like, am I really getting played here? Am I really getting ambushed? What the heck is going on? Like, I'm like kind of nervous. Like, I'm like, and of course there's like some story behind it, where it's like, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm going, down to my mom's or something in Arizona. I'm, whatever. Right. And I'm like, okay, and it's like the end of the day or whatever. My wife's working, and I'm like, my guys have already gone home for the day. And I'm like, fudge. And I'm like, all right, well, I want to kind of see what, I want to see it, right? So, of course, I go there. I'm in the real caution, approaching, right? It's kind of like, do I bring a baseball bat? Do I bring a big dog? What do I do here? I go there. She opens up the garage door. There's a pretty good mound that probably fit in like an 8-foot bed of a truck, a standard pickup truck, 8 foot long. Like, it would fill it probably flush of garage door springs that this guy's been pilfering off me. And I'm like, mother. And I remember they were related to another garage door company that was in town. And so it's kind of weird because, like, I don't know if you guys see this or not, but all the garage door companies, there's a few, not very many, but most of them were relations back in the day. Back in like maybe like the 70s, they were all like one around here was like Shepherd, man. Shepherd was just a huge, like if they could have kept it together, they would have like dominated this town. But one uncle, something didn't work out. One peeled off, another one this, another one that, blah, blah, blah. Well, anyways, this is one of the one that peeled off. Well, she tells me, she goes, well, he was already here. He already went through some of the stuff that he thought was his. And I'm thinking, oh, of course, so there's probably even more stuff that was mine. Like he probably, maybe there's openers or electronics, whatever, right? And I'm just like, so with that being said, I still haven't had anybody tell me a good inventory system that doesn't break the bank, that's just really, 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 really simple. All right. We finally got rich, man. Where have you been? Cheers. If some of you don't know, it's kind of a little thing we play. We'll do the They'll do the cheers. Gives me a minute to take a break and get a drink, and I give a cheers back. So yeah, that was fun. Having somebody steal from you. Had a lot of that over the years. And I think that's why sometimes, shop cameras. Shop cameras. Yes. 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 Ooh, the shop cameras. Yes. I think, Tanner, you got a great point. And the thing is actually, so here's the trick. Something for you guys to think about. When I first purchased my shop, I put cameras in right away. I thought, I'm not screwing around with this, because my previous house and all that, I put cameras in. They went awry, right? Because they weren't there from the get-go. So it was like, why are you putting these in? I'm like, I don't know, for safety, for like theft, for like if somebody, like a customer comes in here and starts wailing on you, like I can show the cops and you have, you have proof. I mean, all above, man. I mean, it's just good practice. And if somebody breaks in here after night, whatever, I don't know, but if you don't have it, can't see it. So the shop, when I first got the shop, boom, cameras right away. I called in a company. They came in, gave us a really nice system. I think they're like Honeywell's or something like that. It's worked really good, actually. They still work to this day. No problems, no complaints really. I think we had one camera that lost its night vision. So anyway, but what the trick was, they would do, and that's kind of the problem that sometimes you don't know, and that's why sometimes, then you go to, I need to put GPS on the trucks, because the trucks have inventory on them. You know what I mean? And there's, trust me, there's ways I've thought about it where it's like, they have to give you a receipt and you replenish them. They can't come into the shop or come into the warehouse portion. If you ever looked at my shop, there's certain things, I got badges, so certain codes, you can't get into certain areas. But what they were doing is, at the end of the day, they would take their pickup truck, right? And it was kind of one of those things like, how do you kind of say no to it? Because what they would do is they'd bring in their own tools. Most of the guys, I provide the tools. I provide all the power tools, hand tools, but they would stop at their truck, their personal vehicle, every day with the company truck, and they were always loading something, right? And they'd always tell me, and I say, I said, you can leave your tools in that truck. I said, well, I don't know if I'm getting, I might get fired and might not be able to come back in tomorrow. And I'm always like, that seems like a really crappy thing to be like. But I thought, hey, they brought their own hand tools, and that kind of helped me to some degree, because I thought, hey, I ain't got to worry about wrenches and screwdrivers and everything. So I thought, hey, that's fine. If they got certain tools they like using, they don't like using mine or whatever we provide, then whatever. But that could have been their gimmick, which I know that's how they did it. They would pilferage a few springs or this and that. Or I noticed the trucks, they wouldn't come back with scrap metal. And so what they were doing is they were stopping at their houses, right, and dropping scrap metal off. I look at that and I go, if you're not asking, that's theft. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it, because that scrap metal is stuff that could be used. That's a $200, $300, $600, $1,200, whatever it is, for scrap metal that could be applied to your paycheck when times are rough, or buy tools, or buy gas, or buy donuts, or buy coffee, so. That's funny. So when you slip and fall, we can rewatch it again. No, it's pretty sad, because when I was leaving very, very, very long time ago, my business partner, I mean, this stuff goes crazy, man. I tell you what, why do you think I got so many gray hairs? My business partner, I put a camera up. It was like I said, hear me out on this, right? This is my personal house, right? And we had a detached garage, and then in the back, it had the office, so it had everything in there. It had sink, it had fridge, it had shower, it had toilet. I mean, it had everything. It was just a basic nice little office. And so I put a camera up before I left, and I just thought, in case somebody, I have no idea what, you know what I mean? Well, I didn't realize it at the time, but my secretary, and actually my business partner, which is really crummy, right? Your own business partner. They were both in divorces, and they weren't finalized. Well, I didn't know, but the two were basically, you know, I don't got it because it was really rigged how I had it. It was like to a computer or something. It wasn't a real camera system, right? Anyways, they were making out. They were doing stuff. And then it was he obviously seen it or whatever, right? So of course, you know, he grabs the camera or whatever it is and he tears it out, smashes it, and all that stuff. So of course, you know, I come back from a week's vacation or whatever. I got to come back and you got to go upstairs in the building to get to it, whatever. And everything's a disarray. It's ruined. And I'm like, you know, kind of like, yo, what the is going on with this? Now, mind you, my business partner was the same one that left me when I was, you know, when the new Cabela's open and he was there for 2 hours when I was just huffing and dying on the hot summer heat, stacking doors on top of service vehicles, you know, and he comes in just before, you know, 5 minutes before, you know, closing. And he's like, oh, we're all set, right? Have a nice weekend. And I mean, I'm burning. And so I end up, you know, confronting him. And I said, you know, how was the new Cabela's? And he just turned white. And he's like, um, 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 I was gonna. And I said, you know, that's the problem. I said, you were always gonna, and you never did. I said, that's the problem. If you would have called, I said, and said, hey, would you mind? And I said, hey, man, nothing's going on here. I said, we're looking good. It's really slow today. You know, have at it. Have fun. I wouldn't have cared. But it was a fact that I was loading doors above my head, 16 by 7s, you know, 16 by 8s, doors on top of trucks by myself, you know, 2 panels stacked on top, you know what I mean? Just dying and going, oh my gosh, it'd be so nice if somebody was here to help, you know. That's what ticked me off. But I had GPS and I could see it. But that's the thing is you do that stuff too, right? Cameras cost money. GPS costs money, you know, then people want to manipulate them. They want to rig them. There's all kinds of ways, right? They switch vehicles, you know, it gets to be a real handful. That's right. It doesn't cost them a dime. It's, that's why sometimes you know, I do these videos and stuff. I do it for educational. I do it for training for other people in business, or maybe so people don't feel alone, or can go, I remember Dave saying something about this, and I think I smell a rat, and I think something's going on here. You know what I mean? And you know, right? It just starts happening. You start kind of just, your gut starts telling you something starts smelling, not, you know, doesn't smell right. And I tell you what, I can't stand rats. I hate rats. I just despise them. I cannot stand stealing, dishonesty. It drives me nuts because it's so easy. And the problem is like, I'm a very giving man. You need to borrow something, go ahead. You know, but it's just like the whole thing with like the generator. You know, my business partner, you know, I'm out of town, right? I'm over darn near 2 hours away doing a service call. We lose power over by the shop, house, whatever. It was actually the house. We were in the house. My mom's not too far away. And we lose power. And at the time, it's actually my mom's generator, but she doesn't use a generator that much. And I told her, I said, look, let me use it for some jobs. I said, plus I'm going to take good maintenance of it. You know, I'm going to use the right gas, use rec fuel. I'm going to change the oil in it. It's going to get some use, you know, once in a while. And she's like, that's great. And I said, if you ever need it, I'll bring it over, or you can come get it. Not a problem. Well, they lost power, and they were, you know, I was doing a service call. It was taking a couple hours. So their fridge has been out, you know, whatever, 3, 4, 6 hours, right? And they're like, hey, can we come get that? And I said, yeah, go for it. So they come to my house, right? Can't find it. I'm like, it's there. I'm like, it's right under this bench. I'm like, how do you know? So now, right, what do? Right? I'm just, woo, I'm on the gas, man. I'm on the gas driving as fast as I can, you know, doing, you know, the speed limit's 70. I'm probably doing 85. You know, just trying to fly back home. Got done with the service call. I'm hot. I'm sweaty. I want to shower. I want dinner. I'm exhausted. I show up at the house. It's like, I'm looking. And I'm thinking, did somebody steal it? Like, was the garage door open when you got here? This and that. Did somebody walk from the road? You know, finally I make a phone call. Business partner, right? Hey, you got the generator? Well, yeah, actually I gave it to my friend because his grandma's power went out. What? what in the hell gives you the right to think to, and it's not even for like, for you or for like your grandpa or something or whatever that's like got an oxygen machine or something. I mean, just no good reason. Just, oh, and mind you, we were many years into a cell phone. We both had cell phones. We both had our numbers programmed in, and you can't even get a phone call. Can't even a phone call, even a text. Text was kind of weird back then, but you still nothing to say. Hey man, could I borrow this? Nothing. I was so mad. I said, you bring that back right now. I said, you go get it, bring it back right now. I said, that's not even mine. And so he did. And of course his tail is tucked, then he's got an attitude, you know what I mean? Like the next Monday or whatever, because I think it was like on a Friday. And yeah. Ooh, 6-tire diesel. Be a good garage door repairs. Ooh, man, I don't know. Come on, Tanner, jump in. Tristan's asking about this. I'm buying a dump trailer. So a dump trailer truck, F350, hydraulic lift on her, six tires diesel would be a good garage door repair. I don't know, man. That's a hard one. Tristan, if you can, send me some pictures. I think you got my number, don't you? The 231-720-9675. Shoot me some pictures on the text. It kind of all depends on what you're doing. If you're, I don't want to throw Rich in here, but Rich, I could be wrong. Rich, you let me know. Rich is kind of a hardy man. You know what I mean? Like, I think he might wear plaid. The plaid shirt button up. You know what I mean? I think he wears some work boots. I don't know if he smokes, but he might have a pack of Marlboros in the old pocket up front here. I mean, he's that kind of guy. He's got. Well, I think he's told me before. He's got a welder and stuff like that. I mean, you know what I mean. Like I said, personally, if you're doing it, just all kind of depends. Like if you're gonna do dock plates, you need a welder and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I think trucks are doing fences and stuff like that. Yeah, trucks work pretty good. But when it comes to the garage doors and gates and stuff like that, yeah, the problem is you're dealing with a lot of electronics. So you need spot for keypads and remotes and circuit boards and just power tools. And, I just love a van. I just cannot see nothing. Everything is lower. The floor is lower. It's right there for you to load garage door sections. Truck is hard because everything is just sitting in the back and it can fly out if it's not strapped. It's in the elements. If you got to use the bathroom, the van works pretty nice. I ain't gonna lie. I've had the best success in a van versus a truck. Can it be done? Oh yes. Is it stinky? Absolutely. Well, it's all stinky, right? But in a truck, I've been up there and the roof is like right here and you're like right in the front, right? Even when you're sitting in the back, I've been sitting there and it's like, this sucks. In the back of a van, I got a lot of privacy. So, too big, says Rich. He says, too big for service. Yeah, and the thing is you get into, and like I said, it depends on, that's a pretty broad, I guess, I don't know if the 6 tires is an end, but, you got to remember working on these things too. You know what I mean? Dualies are, they're a lot more, that's more tires. That's, it just, the brakes. I mean, the thing is too, is anytime you get into a lot of these bigger trucks, and if you're going to crank a wrench on them, I tell you what, man, sometimes Harbor Freight don't even have big enough tools for them. Now, if you're buying a dump trailer, okay, they are always worth it. Not so much for garage doors, but they come in handy all time, but no electric scissor lift is going to go up on those ramps. Darn right. That's a good point. That's a good point, Tanner. Maybe that's what he's trying to say. Something about, dump trailers. Shoot, man. Everybody wants a dump trailer, especially buy one for the right price. I mean, they're great. But yeah, I'd agree with you. The scissor lifts, like I said, you got the scissor lifts either, yeah, everybody likes those hydraulic ones, right? That lower the platform. Those are nice. Don't get me wrong. They're nice. I looked at it like a lot of mechanical moving parts. So I just said, I'm good. And they're expensive. But you get a tip, put a winch on it. Or the ones that we got, those ones, if I got videos on them, man, those things are working great. I was looking at them today, not one speck of rust on them. And the thing is, they've gone through I think 2 or 3 winters now, and nobody takes care of them. Like not one power wash has hit these puppies all in the 3 years, and they just look as brand new as they did. You know what I mean? The galvanized doesn't, you know, it loses a little bit of shine, but they still look great. You know what I mean? So the ramps, those work nice. Nice to have ramps. I like ramps to hold them in case they come loose for some reason. So just by the way, too, I won't be staying on here much longer. I still got to go out, actually do one more service call. So I was just waiting for a certain time. So if I jump off here, I apologize. I don't mean to be rude. Man, this water is giving me bubbles in me. But it tastes good because, man, I need it. I was doing a little digging today. Okay, what's he got? What's he got? Tanner. And at 350, you are wasting your money. I love it. I love you guys. That's awesome. The battle. You gotta have to get Tanner on here. You know what I mean? Get the Duramax. Oh man, I never owned a Duramax. I bet they're similar though. When I went from the Cummins to the Ford, the reliability went down a lot, but the power went up a lot. You know what I mean? That V8, you know, that thing was a powerhouse. That 6.4. I love the sound of it too, especially the way it comes out the exhaust and it hits like a curb when you're going down the road. Just that perfect speed. Man, does it sound good. But when it's in the shop all the time, I couldn't afford it. I just couldn't afford it. And like I said, the diesels man, I'm scared unless they're all deleted and stuff, all emissions on them, you know, and I hear well, I don't know how much on the resis are cracking down, but I heard some of my truck drivers, they've been busted pretty good around here. Some of the big ones, changed out that piece today. What's the Smith? What do you got here, Rich? Changed out that Smithsonian piece today. What does that mean? What do you got, Rich? You probably already sent me a picture. I seen somebody sent me something. They shot something over, but it's always hard. You know, I can't do it. I can't do both because the problem is if I click off here, I think it blanks out. So, but yeah, kind of back to the F-350. Like I said, if you got a smoking good deal and it's pretty much given to you, I don't think I'd be out there gunning for it. I'm still, you know, like I still like the Chevys. What was it? Josh got, what did he, I don't know what model it is. It's a transit van though, right? Now I thought all the transit vans were front wheel drive. I was mistaken. I must have been looking at one years ago. So I was thinking about buying a couple new ones, but it scared me. They just came out with the new motor. I swear these were front wheel drives, and I think some of them are all wheel drive. And I thought, you know, I'm just going to go back to the old tried and true. The Chevys, the 4.8, the 5.3, the 6 liters have been just hard to beat. And so that's what we went with. But I think he bought one with like 149,000 miles. And he seems to like it, you know. So I'm curious. Hopefully he'll keep me updated if he has any major problems or anything. Because I just said, hey, man, I want to know what's going on with it. Just because I might be looking for one, you know, if I find one at a good price or whatever. Okay, so if you can find like a 3/4 ton dually diesel flatbed, 8 foot, and put boxes, ladder racks, yep, you can really load the thing up. Part springs, yep, opener, head rails, shelves is a lot. Yeah, that's true. That operator I sent you pictures of, oh, nice. Probably recently. Did you just send them? I don't remember which one we were. To haul around, but I think it would be toss up between driving back to the shop for material or parts, or more you carry on your rig, the more effective you are, in my opinion. Yeah, it's kind of a weird, you know, and it's like today, right? I spent, you know, like I said, it's one of those things, I don't spend a full day doing it, right? But it's one of those things, it took me kind of a day, piecing things, you know, because I don't know if you're like me, but I wander around and then I either have to put it on my phone or I have to write it down on a piece of paper, but things will pop in my head and I'm like, oh yeah, like bring a knee pad. Yeah, dummy, because you're going to be on your knees. Oh, ooh, I need a wheelbarrow. Bring a wheelbarrow because I got to mix mud. I got to mix concrete. Yeah. So you know, so then I finally kind of orchestrate all this, right? I put it all together, and I still like at nighttime or just before I get to leave or something, I'm still trying to go, okay. And I try to envision in my head how it's going to, okay, I'm going to dig. I'm going to dig. I need postal diggers. Got it. Right. Shovel. Should just bring a shovel. It's always good to have a shovel. Should bring a tarp in case you got to, you know, all these things, right? And I still forgot the stinking dome caps. So it's like one of those things like you just, you know, but luckily, the job was only, how far was that one? 15, 20 minutes away, one way. So I had to stop. I had to make a trip, and it wasn't the end of the world. But you know what I'm trying to say is like when I used to go out really far, it was, man, it was like you just packed. I mean, the Ford Rangers and everything we had were all just squatting because they had so much material in them. But I mean, I remember one time the vendor, right, in their packages, they're not sending us the flag brackets for the horizontal track. And I'm just like, no. You know, and of course to them, right, they're like, oh, that's no problem. We'll just send you another hardware box and you can just keep it in your truck. I'm like, okay. I'm like, can you send 7? Because I got 7 service vehicles. Oh, well, that we probably have to charge you. Well, I don't know who's going to be doing what. You know, and then it's like if you know, we were doing Wayne Dalton, we were doing Amar, we were doing Safeway. I mean, so now it's like you need a hardware box. And then, of course, hardware changes across these things. Oh, I seen something. Must be, I think it's Rich sending something. And so, you know, it's just, but that's what I'm always saying. I think the biggest thing I still, in multiple other businesses, I always look at it and I still go, close, 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 close. Stay as close. Try to drown your market. Try to stay local. Try to do more advertising. Try to, you know, and I know it's hard because when you first get somebody and it's, you know, it's an hour and a half, one, you know, and I'm not busy right now. It's super duper duper hard. But I'm telling you, it's just, man, I tell you, every time you put distance in it, it's just, for one, if something fails, you know, you forget something, it's more time on the road. You can run into something, hit something, breakdowns. It just seems like every time I still do it. I'll do once in a while, I'll do something. I'll be like, we can do that. We can do that. Yeah, that's fine. And it's like, no, we can't. And then, or if I do it, I'm always sitting there spanking myself going, that was stupid. You know? That I'm sending a picture of. Oh, nice. To haul around between drive-in shop parts. Okay, it's going to be that time, guys. I'm going to have to go. Love you guys. It was great being here. Were you still at the one? Those thumbs up boys help the other brother out. That's right, Tanner. I appreciate the support. Appreciate you guys being here. Hope to see you soon. I'll check you out, Rich. I seen the text come in. I'll see you later, buddy.